Hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. Today I've got 5 recipes for you that mainly focus on just not taking a lot of time. So all these meals should roughly take you 5 to 12 minutes, depending on how fast or slow you are. For a few of these ideas, I took inspiration from TikTok. If you're following me on Substack and you read my monthly favorites post, you will know that I'm currently doing a bit of a TikTok detox, but unfortunately there is a lot of really good recipe inspiration on this app. And so for the sake of this video, I did relapse and re-download. But I have to say that the longer the break is that you take from TikTok or short form content in general, the less enticing the infinite scrolling page becomes. Because I went on there for 5 minutes and then left it again. So I would say it's pretty good. If you would like to support my channel, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. And now let's get to cooking. On to the first recipe, which is for these insanely simple and insanely delicious pesto chickpea wraps. To a large mixing bowl, add a can of drained chickpeas, a few tablespoons of unsweetened soy yogurt, a few tablespoons of store-bought vegan pesto. Even the more discounted grocery stores in Germany sell this now, which is really cool. But if you wanted to make it from scratch, you can, of course. That will exceed the time limit, but I'll link some notes down below. Also add some lemon juice and salt. That is it. Give this a good mix, and then using a fork, you're going to mash down onto the chickpeas to break them up a little bit. Now this can be added to so many things. I decided to use these little protein tortillas that I filled with some of the chickpea mixture, some tomato, some sesame seeds, vegan chili mayo, and some greens. The wraps are quite small, so I made a bunch more, some of which I filled with vegan cheese, which is really good. Feel free to toast the wraps in a non-stick skillet for about 2 minutes on each side. This helps everything hold together more easily, and it also just makes it taste even better. Just can't believe how simple this is and how yummy. Oh my goodness. This next idea is for homemade instant noodle soup, loosely based on a TikTok, which I will link down below, of course. Bring some salted water up to a boil, add some dried soy granules or soy chunks, some quick cooking vegetables. I went for coleslaw mix. Lastly, add some noodles. I went with fresh udon noodles, which take around 3 minutes of cooking. Definitely make sure that the cooking time of both the noodles and vegetables somewhat matches up. So you might have to rearrange the order in which you add these things to the boiling water. Let's say you use noodles that take 9 minutes, then of course add the noodles first. In the meantime, cut up 1 spring onion. Transfer the cut onion to a medium bowl, then add syrup or sugar, soy sauce, vinegar or lemon juice, sesame oil, crispy chili oil, and hot water. And that's your broth. Now add in the cooked noodles, veggies, and soy. My bowl was barely holding on at this point, so I did not add all of the noodles, but I also ended up including a bit of spinach, sesame seeds, and some cilantro for some needed freshness. Make sure to taste test everything with salt and or soy sauce. There you go. Yeah, this is super nice. I love udon noodles, but they're so difficult to eat. For this next recipe, I veganized this TikTok, which was for these lovely sun-dried tomato beans. First, mince an onion and 2 cloves of garlic. Also, cut up some sun-dried tomatoes. I love using these half-dried tomatoes. In the meantime, a big skillet with oil should be preheating to medium heat. Ideally, use the oil from the sun-dried tomato jar. Allow this to cook for about 5-6 minutes or until the onions are translucent. Next, add in some plant-based cream. I would recommend soy or oat. I'm not sure if coconut milk would be good in this. Feel free to try it. Then I added a can of white beans, some roughly chopped spinach, bit of water, quite a bit of lemon juice. I also ended up adding some salt and some soy sauce, and probably a lot more lemon juice as well. Yeah, because the soy cream is quite sweet, so you need quite a bit of lemon juice, I feel like. And then I ended up serving this just like in the TikTok with some fresh bread, which was so super nice. And I feel like quite different to what I usually eat.
Hello. Hi. I'm at the restaurant. You're at the restaurant. I'm getting a pizza. It looks amazing.
This next recipe might just be my favorite one from this video. It's for this sweet chili tofu rice bowl. It tastes like takeout, but at the same time being quite nutritious and fresh. First, I prepared my go-to crunchy tofu. So I cut a block of firm tofu into cubes. Transferred those to a larger plate together with cornstarch and salt. I then let the tofu fry in a preheated nonstick skillet with a bit of oil over medium to medium-high heat for about 6 minutes or until nice and golden brown all over. Meanwhile, I prepared some quick rice. I prefer to make my own rice usually, but sometimes you just gotta go with express rice. Once the tofu has achieved a nice and golden brown color, I am drizzling over some soy sauce and some sweet chili sauce. This deglazing combination is so good. Give the tofu another 2 to 3 minutes. Feel free to add some spring onion to it. And then move on to the final meal component, which would be a light coleslaw salad. So to a large plate bowl, I'm adding all the dressing ingredients. That's unsweetened soy yogurt, vegan mayonnaise, soy sauce, a little bit of the chili sauce, white wine vinegar. You could do lime juice as well here, some salt to taste. Now as for veggies, I'm going to be using some, I think this is baby romaine, and this pre-chopped coleslaw mix. If you're wondering why I have this, I went to a screening of New Moon the other day and it was the greatest day of my life actually. Like, I love when cinemas show old movies, especially when they go all out with the theme. Anyway, assemble your bowl and there you go. This is so yummy, very nice, very fresh. Please try it. About a month ago, when I was still using TikTok daily, I kept seeing these in olive oil fried dates. I decided to try them in this final meal, which I guess is more of a breakfast type meal. So you bring olive oil in a frying pan to medium heat and you just let some dates fry for, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes per side. But keep an eye on them and try not to go on your phone because then they might look like this. Okay, some of these are a little dark. But anyway, I did do a second batch in the end that turned out much better. The dates on their own taste so nice. For some reason, donuts was my first flavor association that came to mind. It's crazy how different they taste. The outcome will definitely depend on which type of date it is that you're using. I always use Deglet Noor from Tunisia, which my dad is from, fun fact. I think he would love this. Like, all that man eats is dates, olive oil, and bread. Instead of bread, I paired the dates with a yogurt bowl. Definitely make sure to sprinkle some sea salt on top of the dates. I also included some oats, peanut butter, and cereal to make this a bit more filling. Last but not least, I added a little bit of maple syrup and olive oil. Yeah, this was like the fanciest tasting yogurt bowl I've ever had. I don't have a sponsor today necessarily, and so I thought I would take this time to promote my Substack blog. I do not only post my recipes on there in text form, but also I've been doing these monthly favorites posts, which make me feel like I'm a columnist in the early 2000s. Substack kind of reminds me of like an early Tumblr, Pinterest, or just like blog culture in general, but it's without all these ads that can get quite annoying really easily. So definitely check it out. I'm not sponsored by Substack, by the way, I just really like it. But it can also work as like a bonus content platform, similar to a Patreon, which I think I will be using that for in the future as well. So yeah, I just have to figure out how to do that. Honestly, I've only really understood how to use half of this app. Anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here. And I will see you very soon. Bye.